Green steel finds a home in Minnesota, and the EPRI gets some real-world results from 3 hydrogen blending demonstration projects. I'll go over this news and give my thoughts on today's Hydrogen Podcast. First up today, in a press release from the U.S. Department of Energy, DOE to invest in hydrogen for green iron facility as part of a $10 million initiative to support clean energy transitions for communities across the United States. The U.S. Department of Energy announced on Wednesday, October 9th, that the city of Duluth and its local development partners will receive DOE support to develop hydrogen and renewable energy systems, as well as clean energy workforce to enable the deployment of a green iron plant in the region. Minnesota is the nation's largest producer of iron ore used for domestic steel production. Duluth is one of 3 new communities alongside Nashville, Tennessee, and Lane County, Oregon, to receive $10 million collectively in funding and technical assistance. Teams of local governments, electric utilities, and community-based groups will work closely with experts from the DOE's world-class national laboratories over 2 to 3 years through an in-depth partnership with the DOE's Clean Energy Communities program. In-depth partnerships are a key approach used by C2C to support communities with renewable energy and grid, mobility, building, and resilience challenges. To date, almost 300 communities in the United States have received support from C2C to advance their goals and drive clean energy progress across the country. Okay, so green steel finding a home in the United States. Now, details around this development are still sketchy, and the $10 million in funding is split between the green steel project in Duluth and 2 other sites in Tennessee and Oregon. Now, the C2C program does have quite a few projects under its belt since its inception in January of last year, but this is the first hydrogen project. An aspect of the C2C program that I do like very much and meets a critical need in the hydrogen economy here in the U.S. is the engagement level opportunity, which includes the ability to select from 3 different levels of engagement, including in-depth technical partnerships that are multi-year partnerships and provide cross-sector modeling, analysis, and validation, paired with direct funding to help teams of local governments, electric utilities, and community-based organizations reach their goals and or overcome specific challenges. They also have peer learning cohorts, which are small groups of approximately 15 local governments, electric utilities, or community-based organizations, each that meet regularly for approximately 6 months to learn from each other and lab experts in a collaborative environment to develop program proposals, action plans, strategies, and or best practices on a predetermined clean energy topic. They also can match with an expert, which is a 40 to 60 hour session with 1 or more technical experts to help address near-term clean energy questions or challenges for dozens of communities. Now, each one of these options has the potential to provide extremely valuable support to kickstart projects like the Green Steel Duluth project. So, congratulations to Duluth and surrounding communities on this win. I hope for great success for all parties involved. Next, in an article in PowerMag.com written by EPRI, hydrogen attracts significant investments to support a decarbonized energy economy. In late 2023, the U.S. Department of Energy announced a $7 billion initiative to establish 7 regional clean hydrogen hubs, aiming to scale the use of cost-effective clean hydrogen. This initiative comes as utilities face growing pressures from data centers and other industries that are demanding increasingly large amounts of reliable power. Hydrogen's role in helping utilities meet these growing demands while adhering to net zero carbon goals make it an essential part of the energy transition. With more companies pledging carbon neutrality, hydrogen provides a versatile tool for balancing increased demand with sustainability efforts. Globally, the International Renewable Agency, or IRENA, projects that 5.5 terawatts of electrolyzer capacity will be required by 2050 to meet climate goals. While the timelines and strategies for integrating hydrogen into the energy economy vary, EPRI is focusing on understanding applications of hydrogen to aid in the power sector decarbonization while maintaining reliability and affordability. The Electric Power Research Institute, or EPRI, has partnered with utilities and diverse stakeholders in its Low Carbon Resources Initiative and Gas Turbine Advanced Components and Technologies program to explore using hydrogen as a fuel in various natural gas power plants. In a quote from Alex Gupta, EPRI's low-carbon fuel safety specialist, the blending with natural gas aims to incrementally reduce carbon emissions. Using existing assets with a relatively low hydrogen concentration allows for some decarbonization, with potential for higher as hydrogen blends and infrastructure matures. One important aspect of utilizing hydrogen to decarbonize the power sector is ensuring it does not pose unintended safety and environmental risks. Additionally, developing standardized best practices for stakeholders is essential as hydrogen use in natural gas power plants expands. EPRI's recent research initiative, detailed in the report Safety and Environmental Lessons from Hydrogen Natural Gas Co-Firing Demonstrations, addresses these concerns. EPRI analyzed 3 demonstration projects to understand the safety measures, environmental concerns, and lessons from real-world hydrogen and natural gas co-firing. The projects varied in size, prime mover technology, and hydrogen percentage in the fuel mix. The first one was a 45-megawatt gas turbine operated by New York Power Authority with hydrogen blends between 5 and 44%. And the second one was a 265-megawatt gas turbine operated by Southern Company using fuel blends ranging from 0 to 20% hydrogen. And the third was an 18.8-megawatt equivalent reciprocating internal combustion engine, or RICE, operating with a 10 to 25% hydrogen blend. These projects represent a cross-section of the natural gas power generating assets in operation across the United States. EPRI's analysis provided insights to guide future deployments of hydrogen natural gas blends. Concerns that hydrogen might increase nitrogen oxide emissions were not substantiated. Emissions were monitored and no increase was detected. Again, in a quote from Gupta, "We didn't observe adverse environmental impacts. NOx emissions were comparable to those from natural gas, and overall environmental impacts were reduced due to lower direct carbon emissions. While hydrogen offers considerable benefits in reducing carbon emissions, it's important to acknowledge that its production, particularly through electrolysis, is energy intensive. The need to balance these energy demands with renewable sources is crucial for ensuring that hydrogen contributes to decarbonization without creating new challenges in energy efficiency. Scaling green hydrogen will require vast renewable energy capacities to match the demand." Safety concerns, particularly around leaks, were also addressed. No leaks or safety issues were detected during the 3 projects' operations. Established industry protocols and hydrogen-specific codes and standards, such as the NFPA2, proved effective in ensuring safety. The demonstrations confirmed that co-firing hydrogen with natural gas does not necessitate novel emissions controls or operating conditions. Gupta noted that operations were routine, similar to burning any other fuel. The best practices EPRI identified to facilitate future projects include: 1. Early identification of applicable codes and standards is critical, with a focus on exceeding safety and environmental requirements. The second is to establish a collaborative project team with clear roles and responsibilities and a comprehensive project plan involving local communities, regulators, and permitting authorities. The third is safety and operational measures should include proper site layout, pressure system integrity, reliable fuel blending controls, comprehensive emission monitoring, and independent verification and safety reviews. And lastly, a thorough safety protocol includes strategic sensor placement for leak detection, access control to sensitive areas, environmental health and safety training, and clear communication. These best practices aim to accelerate hydrogen's role in the power sector decarbonization. Again, according to Gupta, our report serves as a guide for those interested in hydrogen combustion, offering a starting point that avoids reinventing the wheel and ensuring safety and beneficial environmental outcomes. Okay, so the Electric Power Research Institute really putting in the hours to examine hydrogen co-firing plants and getting real-world numbers to address the safety concerns around the application. And I'll be honest, I was surprised to see the fuel mixture in the various projects, up to a 44% blend in the 45 megawatt turbine in New York. That is an incredibly high mixture, and for there to be no adverse effects is very good news. Now, I don't know that these demonstrations went long enough to determine if any embrittlement took place, but to see that there were no increases in NOx emissions or hydrogen leaks is very reassuring. And I would love to know more about their findings, but the report is $10,000, and I don't need to know that badly. However, if any of you listening are a funding member of the EPRI, there is no cost to you to view the report. All right, that's it for me, everyone. If you have a second, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a good review on whatever platform it is that you listen to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, whatever it is. That would be a tremendous help to the show. And as always, if you ever have any feedback, you're welcome to email me directly at info@thehydrogenpodcast.com. So until next time, keep your eyes up and honor one another.